And finally, Sutra 239, when you live with an attitude of abundance, you no longer need the senses to indulge you, and you will gain the knowledge of your births. So I mentioned a little bit when we were talking about asteya and giving and generosity, coming at it from this attitude of abundance. Again, that you have everything that you need. And when you look at the common translation, non-hoarding, what is it that people are feeling when they feel the need to hoard? Well, they're coming from everything from this lack mindset, that they need to keep everything just in case something happens in the future, and then they know that they'll have what they need. So there's this anxiety about what's going to happen in the future, as well as this need to attach themselves to having all of these things. And when we operate from an attitude of abundance, we know that we don't need to keep all of these things because we trust that we have everything that we need now, and we will have everything that we need in the future. And even if we don't actually tangibly have that roll of toilet paper that we need right now, we trust that we have the connections and the relationships that will procure that roll of toilet paper when we need it. Or we have the knowledge and the ability to go find that toilet paper when we need it. So it's not necessary that we hoard that thing and keep it for ourselves when it would be much more beneficial to give it to others who are actually in need in the moment. There's your practical example. And then we have this indulgence or indulging the senses in part of this sutra. So when we're not hoarding, then we're not indulging the senses. And this takes us back to the kleshas and that idea of attachment, attaching onto the pleasure of something or avoiding the potential pain of something. When we live with abundance and we allow ourselves to trust in ourselves, we don't have to worry about attaching onto the pleasure of something or trying to avoid future pain, because again, we trust and have faith in our own ability to have what we need in each and every moment. And finally, the last little part of this sutra says that once we no longer need our senses to indulge us, we will gain the knowledge of our births. And simply what this means, even though it sounds strange and funny, is that by practicing the yamas, by engaging in relationship with the world around us and using these universal disciplines, it will slowly start to burn away the cloudiness that veils our true self. And once we reconnect with our true self and with that clarity that comes about from knowing our true self, then we will know that we are infinite. And that's where we get to this point about the knowledge of our births. We don't really need to know who we are, the details, the specificity around how we were in the world prior to how we are now, other than we have this connection to an infinite universal consciousness. And once we know that we've always been this way, and we will always continue to be this way in the future. And that just reinforces this incredible sense of abundance. So I hope that this interpretation of the yamas has been inspiring to you, has helped you think about the yamas perhaps slightly differently. Here are some of the principles that we brought up. And in terms of the principles here, I'm just reaffirming what these yamas are: compassion, truth, giving, moderation, and abundance. And I really encourage you to use these ideas as themes in your classes, which some of you may already have been doing. But think about how we can cultivate compassion in asana, how we can cultivate truth in asana, being really true to what it is that our body is telling us at any given moment. How can we cultivate generosity in asana or in relationship to our students? How can we moderate our energy in asana or in our relationship to our teaching? And how can we operate from an abundant mindset, not just in our teaching, but in our lives in general? And we will tackle the niyamas next.